Hi friends, continuing to the chapter Science and Knowledge. Some notable mathematics of post-Vedic periods. The tradition of the mathematical work has existed continuously from Vedic times, as Vedas were never eclipsed. None from the Vedic times availability of the work of lateral mathematicians should not be taken as absence. Below, we briefly list some outstanding Hindu mathematicians whose works are prominently available. After briefly described works of Aryabhatta first and the Varahmihira, we just list the names of these noted mathematicians. Aryabhatta first. Aryabhatta first is a major name in the world history of mathematicians. According to the internal evidence, he was born in 476 BC and died in the year 550 BC. His Aryabhattas is available. It provides summary of Hindu mathematicians known in his time, covering the topics on arithmetic, algebraic, plane trigonometry, continued fractions, quadratic equation, sum of the power series, and tables of signs. Aryabhatta gave a systematic treatment of the position of the planets and also gave us the radius and periods of rotation of the planetary orbits around the sun. He correctly explains and calculated the sun and the moon eclipse. Solution of a quadratic equation by Aryabhatta 1. Aryabhatta 1 has formulated at least two problems whose solution requires solving a quadratic equation. We discuss one of these here, which is on interest. Before giving Aryabhatta's general formula, let us consider a numerical example. If 8-year interest on 1-year interest together with the interest of $400 is $72, then what is the interest on $400? Let x be the interest of the capital of $400 for a year. Now 8-year capital interest is 8 x by 400 into x. According to what is given, we have 72 equals x plus 8x 2 by 400, or the quadratic equation would be x square plus 50x minus 3600 equals to 0, giving x is equals to 40. Astronomy. Aryabhatta first. In his book Aryabhatya gives the following general formulation of this problem. Given the interest x on a capital C together with the interest on its interest for a certain given period of time t is s, then the interest of the capital is given by SCT plus C by 2 into 2 minus C by 2 by t. Varahmihira. Varahmihira is particularly the famous astrologer that we have known. Delhi adjoining area Mehruli is named after him. He was born in 505 BC and died in 587. He worked at Ujjain, which has been an important center for the mathematics since around 400 BC. A most famous work of him is Pancha Sikandika. It summarizes and synthesizes 5 earlier known as astronomical theories. In his calculation, he uses Greek eclipse theory of the motion of the heavenly bodies. Varahmihira made some important mathematical discoveries. Among these are trigonometric identities, which is present day notation would means the following: sin A is equal to cos pi by 2 minus A, sin square a plus cos square a equals to 1 and 1 minus cos 2a is equal to 2 sin a, etc. Another important contribution to the trigonometry was his sine tables, where he improves those given by Aryabhatta 1. He also obtained the results on the combination C n into nr, and a relation includes one called Pascal triangular formula. Some other major names in the histories of Hindu mathematicians: Brahmagupta, Bhaskara first, Lala, Siddhara, Govinda Swami, Mahavira, Shankara, Aryabhatta II, Vijayananda, Sirupati, Brahmadeva, Bhaskara II, Mahendra Suri, Narayana, Madhava, Neelakanta, Jeshadeva, Kamalakara, Jagannatha. The birthplace of the mathematicals, especially that of the numbers, geometry and algebra, is India. The origin of the numbers, geometry and the sequences and series is enshrined in Vedas. Mathematics developed in Vedic traditions in India, and from he went other parts of the world. Mathematics as a philosophical discipline and as a tool for understanding anything as well as understood by the Indians. To the west through the Arabs, and to the east by the individuals traveling mathematicians, and through its great centers of learning. According to Albert Berg, the original proof of Pythagoras' theorem was copied by Pythagoras on his visit to India. An unpublished commentary of Katayana Sulabhastura. In the development of the intellectual traditions in the ancient India, Sutra type literatures flourished because of this facility regarding easy memorization and brevity of expressions. We find the text entitled Sulba Sutras among other texts of Sutra periods, facilitating the understanding of detailed structures of Vedis, Mandabas, etc., and their methods of preparation. Primarily, they deal with the rules of dimerization of different type of circumstantial altars unplaced for sacred fires, etc., in according with the norms and procedures for ritual performances as laid down in the Sahimsas, Brahmas, and Sutras, etc. From the above mentioned mantras, it is understood that the yajna or sacrifice is our Paramatma, religious par excellence. But how is this to be pursued? Here comes by the question of injunctions, formulae, eulogy, detailing of norms and procedures, etc. To make the function perfect, Kalpasutras are written following the prescriptions of the Samhita and Brahmanas. It is well said, Kalpasutra occupies an important place so far as Indian religio scientific tradition is concerned. We have a long traditions of rites and rituals in India. R.P. Kulkarni in 1978 provided us with the astrological evidences. It is seen from the above mentioned inspirational record that the sutra sacrifice were being performed almost without interruption from Vedic period to medieval period throughout India, from Gujarat to Assam and from Mahanta in the north to Andhra country in the south. Although only one inspiration, namely that of Pulkesin, could be quoted with the performances of Agnikanya, is specially mentioned, it could be presumed that the kings who have performed important sacrifice like Ashwavedma, Jayapiya, etc., might have performed Soma sacrifice with Agnikayana. There are evidence of performances of Agnikayana from the archaeological experiments. Archaeological experiments of the town beginning from the Paleolithic period reveal the presence of fireplaces which are presumably meant for fire sacrifices. Meaning of the term Sulabha. The term Sulabha may be derived from the root of sal with Anunandika. As per the rule, the meaning Tamra, according to the Hemachandra, Sulabha has different meanings like there is also a root Sulabh meaning mana. From it, the term convey the meaning of Raju or cord, a root of measurements of altars, fireplaces, etc. In the development of the intellectual traditions in India, Sutra type literatures flourished because of its facilities regarding easy memorization and brevity of expressions. In Sutra periods, we find the text of Sulsubha Sutra among other Sutra texts, since there is a prime necessity of understanding the detailed structure of Vedics, Mandabas, etc., and their methods of preparation. Primarily, these Sulabh Sutras deals with the rules of a demarcations of different types of sacrificial altars and a place for sacred life, fire, etc., in accordance with the norms and procedure for the ritual performances as laid down in Samhitas, Brahmanas, and the Sarutra Sutras, etc. Generally speaking, the Sulabha Sutras occurs in one or more chapters of the Kalpa or separates. There are of supplementary natures, lay of some Vedas according to Katyayana schools from Isti, Pashu and Soma sacrifices given by Kulkarni in his book lay out for different sacrifices according to different Sulpa Sutras in 1997. Sulpa Sutra text. Of the available 8 Sulpa Sutras, 7 belongs to Karishna Yajurveda and only named as Katyayana Sulba Sutras belongs to Sukla Yajurveda. The constructions of the different altars, cities, etc. are be made by Atharvayuda and his associates. So it is required the Atharvayuda should be have a geometrical knowledge. That is why Sulba Sutra is not available in other sutras texts belonging to Rigveda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. Katyayana Sulba Sutra contains 7 characters, 101 sutra in the purse and 39 verses, 41 by 43 in others' opinion. Concerning necessary rules of geometry, the following editions of the Sulpa Sutra are available in the print. First 2 chapter with commentary of Rama Vajrapay and the English translation were published in the magazine Pandit by G.S. Tihabat from Banaras in 1882. The text with the commentaries of Kharka and Mahindra was published by Sanskrit Serious Office and edited by Dogri Anamantara Sastri 120. The text with the Sathuravitra of Vidyadhara Sharma was published by the Gratmala Office of Banaras in 1928, number 3. The text with the English translation and commentary includes in the Sulba Sutra by S.N. Sen and A.K. Bag, published from the Indian National Science Academy, New Delhi in the year 1983. The text in the English translation and explanatory notes S.D. Kahatilakar, Vidik, Mandale, Pune in the year 1974. From the above evidence editions, it is evident that the commentators includes Rama, Karka, Mahindra and Vidyadhara Sharma. Recently, noticed a manuscripts of the commentary number G 5949, the Asiatic Society of Kolkata, written by Gangadhara, who has not been mentioned by any editors or authors, expecting Vidyadhara Sharma. Only 2 expertise from the Gangadhara committee have been incorporated in the footnote of his Vritti, so till now attention has not been given to the commentary by the scholars interested in the study of Sulpa Sutras. That is why we could like to draw the attention of the present learned members of the academic fraternity to take up with the community for the subjects of study and research. It is also serious thought of edition this is coming years as a part of the program in the schools of Vedic studies. Rabindra Bharati University under the UG projects on studies of scientific thoughts and components in the Vedic literature. Gangadhara Patanka and his works. Now the question may arise, who is Gangadhara Patanka? What we can know about his personal history in this? He was the son of Ramachandra Prataka and brother of Yanjika Narayana, followers of Harishankara Dikshita, a teacher of his father, and the ancestor of Devabhadra. He resides in the modern Cambi of Gujarat in the year 2008. In this introductory verses of beneficence, he say, here we get a new information about a ritual named Garga who appeared before Karka. In the collapsion, it is noticed that he has many Vedic works to his credits. In NCC, reference to the some manuscripts of these texts have been made. He refers to Karka, Mahindra, etc. Many charts, diagrams, calculations, etc. related to the mathematics, especially geometry and the mensuration, which are conspicuously absent in the others. Commodities have been incorporated and explained fully in a lucid way. This can be referred to some of them as available in the manuscript. It is astonished to see this profundity of a mathematical scholarship and ability to express his findings in a systematic and a scientific way long before the advent of the European style of interpretation in respects of the ancient Indian geometry. Regarding availability of the diagrams, Kulkarni in his book refers the diagram published by Raghavira in the Journals of Vedic Studies from the manuscript preserved in the Punjab University Library. Kulmarchi of Bharat, Mandela from Pune, drawings of the cities of one square Purusha. He was also in the possession of Xerox drawing which give the arrangements of bricks for each and every 5 layered to the Katyayana Sutras. It is disheartening to express that the Kulkarni has no knowledge of his manuscripts of Gangadhara committees full of geometrical figures. Importance of the commentaries. We get the full text of commentaries of Karka and Mahidara but now where such explanations with the help of the chart and diagram is available. Only the Riti by Vidyadhara Sharma of 20th century contains 10 geometrical figures. On the contrary, Gangadhara commentary contains more than 50 geometrical figures with interpretations. Herein lies the prime importance of the commentary. I could not go through the commentary of Rama. Only 2 chapters has been printed in the Pandit. Kundalal Sharma in 1981 in his work has referred to a paper by S.L. Khatri published in the proceeding of the 13th AIOC, where it has been mentioned that manuscripts of Rama's 3 works are presented in Sindhina Orientational Institute, Ujjain. I wish the learned scholars to collect the copies of these MSS and attempt to edit the texts containing 515 verses. There are other works of him also entitled on Ayurveda. Dates of different commentaries. Among the Sulba Sutra is believed to be the earlier. Satya Prakash and Ram Swarup Sharma in 98 opined that he must be flourished after the Satpatha Brahmana period. He was inspired by the injection laid in the Vedic text. Many of his sutras has been quoted by the later authors. We can easily place him somewhere near 1000 BC to 800 BC. Thus, Sauratra Sutta may be dated at least before 800 BC. According to P.V. Can, this date, however, comes between 800 to 400 BC interpretations. Let us take a case of commenting upon the first sutra of the Sulpa Sutra. Here, Karka and Mahendra interrupt the term Samayasa only as additional and subtractions and Rajus as chord. But Gangadhara explained the term Samasatra as Ekanira and Raju as Tata Sadhya Sitra. He includes all topics of the concern Sulba Vinjara here. He further explained elaborately the definitions of Raju and its characters from different sources which are compulsorily absent in others' interpretations. In this way, the interpretations of other sutras have nicely and lucidly been explained with the profuse quotations from the different texts and commentaries. From these texts, along with these commentaries, we can gather the following major information: how to contrast Vedic sites, salas, etc. of a given shape, location of the east-west, north-south line and fixing of pages, construction of square, right angle triangle, rectangular, trapezium, etc. from different points of calculations, measures like angula, isa, aksa, yuga, etc. Conception of the theorem of Pythagoras, definition and a value of the root 2, construction of different cities and increase of the areas, measurements, etc. Importance of Sulba Vijnanaya and so on. Truly speaking, Sulpa Sutra called or your proud possession of an ancient Indian science. It has been aptly said that an expert in Sulpa Sutra has been acknowledged by Gopala Vajana thus in the followings. Here every attempt should be made to collect the, preserve, edit and publish these fruits of ancient Indian intellectual tradition, pretending specially to the realm of scientific literature by the way of discovering hidden truth of the universe. The sooner we proceed, the better. I thankfully acknowledge the assistance received from the authorities of the Asiatic Sociality in Kolkata regarding the supply of Xerox copy of the manuscript number G 5949. The ancient Indian pharmacy, a study of its constructions. Ayurveda is an accepted system of treating diseases in human as well as non-humans. Prevents in the theory and practices for more than 3 millennia from easily available natural resources such as minerala, flora and fauna. The medicals were prepared to cure the disorders in man, animal and even trees. All the processes developed for extracting metals like gold, silver, iron, copper, zinc, etc. from their ores, making alloy of these metals with the specific properties using finely powder and treated metals and metallic preparations in the medicine etc. are essential for chemical processes. Foundation of such practices can be tracked back to the prehistoric period as an evidence of finding many metallic articles like axes, daggers, arrowheads, utilities, etc., mainly made of copper, bronze, gold, silver and lead. The practical arts of a pottery making and metallurgical particles like forging, casting, smelting were known as people of that period. In the Vedic period, we can see the positive progress in the field of metallurgical and chemical practices. The reference of many metals can be seen in all four Vedas. The Atharva Veda to be an important source of such knowledges in which many chemical practices are referred for both practical arts and medical purposes. Then this particle much developed in the later Vedic period which reflects in the world like Samhistat, Arakyans, Brahmas and Upindas. The period between 600 BC to 800 BC can be identified as a golden period as Ayurvedic flourished is the first half of this period and many great workers were produced. In the later half, a firm foundation was laid. Gradually, the texts like Maharishi, one of the oldest texts of Rasa Sastra, which is written in early 8th century of Govinda Bhatta, who was said to be a procurator early 8th century, of Nagarjuna, who is famed as a father of Rasa Shastra. Etc. that deals with different chemical processes came to the existence. It was adopted a traditional practice for the fulfillment of livelihood as well as a social service in the ancient times, but due to the revolutionary changes in the scientific field, it forced them to give up such traditional practices and to search some other new way of earnings. Ayurvedic form a part of Atharva Veda and the Vedic sections dealing with the science of medicines is largely lost. However, there are some hitas written based on the traditional knowledge system that reflected in the Vedas and the schools of Samyagya, the system dealing with this science authorized by Sakara, Sustra and Vahabhakta being the authorities of the science, composed their books for the benefits of the world. Beside anatomy, pathology and the medicines to treat diseases, the above territories also deal with the modes of preparation of medicines in the laboratory known as ancient Indian pharmacy. The location of Rasasala. The Rasasala describe the place which is devoted of all types of fears and obstacles. Dwelling of Lord Shiva and goddesses Parvati where all the medicinal herbs are easily available, which is benefits, beautiful look at, consist of all a well and in a pound is suitable for constructing the pharmacy. It should also be built surrounded by a beautiful garden with a 4 beautiful gates toward the 4 directions, along with the window at the northeastern eastern parts of the site, and should be well equipped by all kinds of equipment, apparatuses and the chemicals. Arrangements of Rasasala. The territories likes describe much on the arrangements of a Rasasala. As per the figure of Rasabadhirya should be placed at the eastern side, the instrument related to the fireworks and the operation related to the heating etc. at the southeastern part, grinding work with the help of a mortar and pestles of various material at the southern part, the process using sharp instruments of the instruments at the southern western part, the work relating cleaning, washing etc. at the western region, the work of drying at the northwestern corner, the work related to cutting, beating, hiding etc. at the northern region, and the northeastern part of the workshop should be left for the storage of prepared medicine as well as raw material, herbs as well as herbal products and chemicals. On the establishment of the god Rasa Bhairava, the says that it should be established at the eastern part, most probably at the entry point and backyard of which the entire pharmacy is situated, where the instructed it to establish the center of the pharmacy, most probably facing toward the east. In this case, as instructed by him, the first vision of a worker falls on the god at all the gates before entering into the pharmacy, where in the case of him, the workers met to the god just after entering into the pharmacy. However, in both the cases, it is observed that the figure of the god Rasha Bhairava is instructed to be established in such a place to which the vision of a worker will go automatically, so that he can offer his prayers to the god to get blessings for better output before he start his chemical operations inside the pharmacy. In Indian mythology, the rain god Indra is said to be a lord of eastern direction. As a result, the eastern part of the sacred land yield good crops. The establishment of god Rasha Bhairava at the eastern part of the pharmacy means as more productivity. Vahini, the fire of god, is the lord of southeastern corner, which shows that the power of fire god in the region more effectively. Similarly, Yama should be in the southern director. Here, Yama is the god of death, and Yamakola, the land of Yama, is the place where the Jitvama gets punished after his death. Therefore, the work related to rubbing, grinding by the stone, etc., is the normal in this land. As a result, it is believed in the south direction. In the same way, the lord of southern west corner is Nairatha, a demon. It is observed in all Puranas that the demon are always indicates towards a war, and they try to have new and more powerful weapons, possibly due to the reason to please him and get this better blessings in the form of a better output. This southwestern directions is selected for the works related to the weapons, that is cutting, holding, foring, quenching, etc. The god of water, Varuna, should be in the western direction. The presence of Varuna in the west shows the sufficiency of the water in the direction, and therefore it has been chosen to do the work related to water such as washing, cleaning, etc. in this direction. Vayu of north-western direction that show the presences of Vayu in the corner who helps to dry and wind-woving work. The lord of north directions is Kubera. That is, Billa is one of the most names of Kubera, which is related to the actions like cutting, holding, making into many pieces, etc. And therefore most probability to get blessings from him in the form of a better output. The works related to cutting, holding, making many pieces, etc. probably to the raw drugs is instructed to do in the north region of the pharmacy. Isa is said as a god of northeastern corner. Isa is mentioned as a universal god who is very much fond of acquiring things. Possibility to please him, this direction is left for the storage of all types of raw herbs, chemicals and minerals as well as the prepared medicines. On the scientific point of the view, if the all above will be analyzed, all processes which are mentioned to perform inside the pharmacy shall be found interlinked like in an anti-clockwise order. For an example, just after entry from the east direction into the room, the right side, that is in the right northeastern region, is specified for the storage of raw drugs and prepared medicines. The storekeeper supplies raw drugs from the store of preliminary processing for cutting and holding, etc., that is making into pieces, to the region. Then the cutter person who cuts sends the material to the region after primary processing for drying and ironing. Then for washing by water, cleaning it goes to the region to make those smaller by sharp weapons to the region. After that he sends to those to the direction to grind for making them fine powders or to mix all the herbs and minerals and chemical proponents. After this processing, the chemist of Agneya region receives them from the workers of Yamaya directions and finally prepares different medicines by using different stoves and furnaces. As soon as the preparation completes, these are sent away to serve the patients through the east gate or to store in the storage room at the north and east corner. This is situated just to the opposite of the corner, and air always blow from the direction from north to south. As a result, the inner part of Rasasala always get free from heat and smoke, as well as furnaces also burn with the high flames which lead the workers to work more efficiently without any disturbances. Similarly, the air also help the workers for drying and wiring different things more effectively. Appointments of different employees in Rasasala and their required qualification. For the proper functioning of this workshop, it is instructed in the almost all Ayurvedic texts to appoint different employees like chemists, physicians, drug collectors and attendant, etc. in it. The person who are truthful, free from temptations, devotees of Devas and Brahmanas, self-controls, are just like upon the prior diets and regimens, are to be encouraged for performing chemical operations. Such herbalistics who are not dietfulness and are well versed in the knowledge of drugs and plants in a different language of many countries should be employed. The physicians who is to be appointed in the said pharmacy should have studied the Rasasastra well, should have proper access to materia medica, and also he should be well versed in the language of all the nearby countries. Hence he should be Fierce, truthful, scholarity, devotee of Shiva and Vishnu, kind-hearted, and should have lotus sign on his palm. The physician who is having in his palm one or more signs such as flag, scared vessels, lotus, fish and bow, or who is having lines up to the base of the right finger. In Ayurveda, such physicians are considered as the best one. Physicians who have no country on his own, who is cruel and greedy in nature without having education from a teacher, and who have black colored lines on the palm is called as Dagadatta Hasta Purasha. In Ayurveda, the appointment of such physicians in a pharmacy is strictly restricted. The person who has the knowledge of the advices written in your sacred texts or told by our forefathers, which is known as mantras, as a root of mantra mean upadesa or advice, by which he can control or break the natural disasters. The five great elements, that is wind, water, fire, space, to control, to break, etc. Who knows the advice should be appointed as the collector of different drugs. The person who is industrious, having good contact, and be neat and clean, strong and courageous, should be appointed as the attendant in the said workshop. A person who has the knowledge of different names of medical herbs, possesses good contact, who is without a fraud, and who has the knowledge of many things and different languages, can be appointed for collections of drawbacks. For some specific type of a chemical operations, the chemist requires the organisms such as bloods, fleshes, bones, marrows, etc. of some specific animals or birds, and for which he needs a person who will kill such animal for him whenever he requires. The work of killing animals for the benefits of the earth is called as sacrifice. A person who is strong, truthful, having red eye and a body with a black complexions, and who has a knowledge to make fear among the other creatures, to generate fear, should be appointed for this. Bali Karma. A person who is rich, has a sacrificing mentality, possession all types of instruments, and who follows the advice of a teacher and a predictors, is good to appoint for metallurgically the list of required apparatuses. The Rasasala should be well equipped by different basic apparatus. The basic apparatus as follows: stove of furnace, water containers of different sizes, 2 leather bellows attached with bamboo and metal pipes, vessels made of gold, iron, copper, bronze, leather and stone, small pounders, stone grinders, big cauldron, a pair of metal mortar and pestle which can be heated on fire, sieve, utilities made of stone or metal, a type of a knife, circular disc to keep the vessels on, curricle, soil, paddy husk, cotton, cow dung cakes, flour, 3 types of ducks, mineral products, animal products, herbal products, charcoal, dried cow dung powder, sugar cane, candy sugar, bottles made of glasses and mud, small pot, drinking glass, viewing basket made upon the bamboo, small pearl shells, sickles, a sharp edged blade, a small knife shaped like an earring, knives to cut the herbs. All these equipment, starting from the cleaning of a pharmacy, that is final process regarding the operation, should be made available and stored in the pharmacy. These two are worshipped, chanting, following which the god Bhairava may destroy the power of these equipments. However, the instructions to the workshop, the equipments is nothing but to create a feeling on the sacredness of these equipments in the minds of the workers and a result they will take intensive care of those instruments so that no harm will come to them and the chemical operation will run very smoothly. Hence the same text also instruct to chant till the completion of the each chemical operation for getting good and effective medicines, which indicates towards the creation of attentiveness in the mind of the workers towards their own duty. In order to extract the metallic portion from their ores as well as to purify them, to stove of different sizes and shapes are required. Such furnaces or stove are described hereafter. This furnace is shaped like a bucket. It is slanted towards by 8 ankulas in each sides and made of iron or mud, placed upon a smooth surfaced ground, plastered all over with mud and furnished with 2 circular air passage, the lower one being just as to fit the end of the tube of a bellow. Fill it with a sufficient quantities of a charcoal and blow the fire by means of a tube made of bone of an animal fixed with a bellow. It is used especially for extracting essence of mica. The second type. Prepare a khadwala shaped oven upon which another khadwala, a boat shaped mortar having an egg shaped pit in the middle portion, which is specially used to grind drugs. Made up iron is to be placed. The oven is to be filled with charcoal set on the fire, which is to be blown by the means of a bellow provided at one side of it. A cake rubbed with kasaras, amlas, etc. get quickly smelted in it. In case the mercurial cakes are heated, made by Kanatyashana, they become very effective. The third type of stove. It is a kosti of 16 ankulas height and 12 ankulas in the length and width, which is generally used for the purpose of extracting essence of different metals. Fill the furnaces with the charcoal prepared from the wood of bamboos. Then fire the charcoal and blow air into through the internal passage by a bellow. Is also view the same about this furnace. This stove mention about some more furnaces. Construct an earthen cabin of the earth measuring one and about 30 angulas in height, about 15 angulas in the width, and half angulas in the width by leaving space from the bottom of one of its wall. An opening is made measuring 6 angulas in length and width. Necessary arrangements should be done to blow the air into the furnaces through this passage by means of a bellow. In the roof of the construction makes another passage measuring the distance between the tip of a little finger and the thumb finger when the palm is expanded, that is about 7.5 inches in length and width to upwards, and close remaining the open one by mud, bricks and scale it properly by the mud plaster. The burning charcoal is to put into the furnace from the top opening and billowed air with the help of the 2 bellows. Then the mineral drugs, which is made of the spherical balls, also put inside and billowed instantly. Generally, such 5 balls are placed at a time. Round pit measuring 1 vithasi, that is 12 inches deep and equally wide, is made inside the earth. Another small pit, that is 4 angulas in the length and 4 angulas in the width, is dug inside the above pit in the center. A twisted pipe is set so that the one goes inside the smaller center pit and the one outside the bigger pit. This end open at the surface on the earth and can be connected to the center. Then a round earth earthen disc or a wheel, that is chakra, with 5 holes is placed upon the central pit, and the outer pit is filled with the coal. After placing the materials, the coal is ignited and air is pumped with the help of the bellows. It is used for svatvavapna of softer minerals. It is described by the scholars Nandini and is convenient for extracting the sattva by less blowing heating. A cylindrical construction is made measuring 12 angulas in height and 1 in width. Then from the bottom of this construction, attaching to the inner wall, another cylindrical construction is made measuring 4 angulas in height and width. The top of the inner construction will appear like a ring. On this ring, a disc, that is chakra, having several holes made of metals or mud is placed. In the bottom of the construction on a gate is also made to blow air. The charcoal is filled in the upper pit upon the wheel, and after placing the musa filled by powdered metal and chemical covered by the charcoal, fire is given and blew with the help of a pipe. This is used for separating the metals to eradicate the belminish from the metal. A slanted cylindrical furnace is constructed measuring 12 angulas in height with the same length of the diameter at the top and with the width and the length of 4 angulas diameter at the bottom. A passage is left and its bottom with bent pipe is to be connected to blow air into it, and it is used for purification of a soft metal. In the first part of this paper, attempts has been made to simplify the techniques of construction as an ancient Indian pharmacy, except the first 2 figures of the pharmacy. The first picture is taken from the book of Science and Technologies in Ancient Indian Through the Ages, which is based on the previous research work published by the Academy of the Sanskrit Research, Melkote, and the second picture is scanned from the book Raya Sanhara, written and published by Pandita Vaisara. All the other line drawings are drawn as per the measurement given in the referred slokas. Hope these will give some new directions to the modern scholars for its further study. This is personally request for the comments on these designs so that the error cannot be rectified properly. The measurement of which furnaces are found complete from all sides or lined out, and which are found incomplete or kept for further studies. In the second part of this paper, attempts will be taken to collect all the information on the instrument and apparatus, etc. Those are required for a ancient Indian pharmacy. Several Sanskrit treatises having such informations are chattered all over the country, which are repository of scientific wisdom. Based on some of these texts, the modern science developed. The rest or not yet came to the light. The fragrance of this wisdom need to be spread far and wide, including every households in a sacred land, with a view to the digging out the hidden treasuries as well as to restore this Indian wisdom, which is presently available in the form of manuscripts. The Government of India established a nation mission for manuscripts in February 2003 and trying to document all such rare text. It is observed that till date about 30,000 Ayurvedic manuscript includes and are already documented, and out of which 1200 Siddha manuscripts are already registered. It is expected by the missions to complete this documentation work within next couple of years, and therefore soft copies of all texts will be made available to the scholarly world. Sanskrit is known as a whole brain language because of its forms and structure. It begins with the sound and how they are perceived by the brain. Static sound, viewed as noise, are processed by the brain by the left hemisphere of the brain, while the sonorous sound are produced by the right hemisphere of the brain. Noise or static sounds is a left brain phenomenon, while the musical sonorous sounds are phenomenon of the right brain. Many people, based on their cultural backgrounds and brain developments, view sounds very differently. In some cultures, all sounds are interpreted as noise, and the result it is perceived by the left brain. In other cultures, sounds like resulting of the leavings, rippling of the water, watering in the streams, clipping of the birds, and the hissing of the wind, sound of our natures are sound that instill a sense of peace and calms are perceived by the right brain, and thus are never viewed as a noise. Sanskrit as a language and thus are never viewed as a noise. Sanskrit as a language is looked at several levels of constructions, is establishing it as a whole brain language using some of the researchers done on the brain theory. This paper looks at the features and forms of the Sanskrit whole brain theory, that is SALT, and the role Sanskrit plays in the stimulation and developments of various neurological pathways in different hemisphere of the brain and in the wiring of a brain for a rapid learning. The super accelerated learning theory, that is SALT, is based on learning using the whole brain in process of the information. Sanskrit as a language helps in writing of both the hemispheres of the brain, making it ready for the rapid learning and processing of informations. Brains and its hemisphere. The human brain has two hemispheres, the left and the right. The right is, and it is connected by the hypothalamus. It is also has the neocortex and a complex algorithm and a mammalian brain that governs instinct, and the reptilian brain that responds to fright and flight. This has been such an succinct description of the evolution of the brain and its development with the various functions. From the brain search and its configuration, it is quite clear that the left and the right hemisphere of the brain have different functions or stimulatedly differently. The left hemisphere is associated with the speech, reading, calculating and deducting, reason, ratio and logic, rules and laws, grammar, fine concentration, focus, analysis, detail, science, temporal sense, meters and rhythms. The right hemisphere is associated with the body languages, signs and symbols, intuitions, feelings, creativity, spontaneous, curiosity, play, risk, synthetic preservatives, art, dance, music, unity, intellectualization and a sense of a space. All of these functions and associations are debited in the Sanskrit language. Sanskrit is looked upon at several levels in respect to the whole brain theory and learning. Thank you.